Long ago, on the edge of Imperial space, a human freighter pilot named the Lara Voss crash-landed on a jungle moon in the Karzan sector. The atmosphere was barely breathable, the local fauna carnivorous, and the foliage screamed at night. The Empire had marked the moon Class 9 hazardous, uncolonized, unclaimed, unwanted. She wasn't supposed to survive the night, but humans, the galaxy had learned, were a different breed. A species from a death world that trained its young to climb cliffs, run from apex predators, and laugh through pain. Alara had once run across the Martian desert with 2 shattered ribs just to keep a bet. So one crash, some toothy wildlife, and a dwindling food pack weren't enough to shake her. While scavenging wreckage for parts, she heard a high-pitched whimper, not unlike a pup's cry. Alara found the source near the wrecked husk of a dropship, a Varka cub, barely the size of a backpack, covered in ash and dried blood. One eye swollen shut. VARR single quotes KHA were infamous across the stars. Tall, clawed, 6-limbed apex predators with armor-plated hides and razor fangs. As adults, they served the Empire as elite enforcers and war beasts. This cub, however, had been abandoned. She should have walked away. Instead, she whispered, "Well, you're ugly, loud, and probably going to bite me. But hey, so was my ex." And just like that, the galaxy's most feared predator got a name, Scrap. 3 years later, Lara returned to known space with a repaired ship, a few missing fingers, and something no human or alien had ever dared claim, a domesticated Varka. Fiercely loyal and terrifyingly protective. At first, officials demanded she surrender the creature. But Scrap was no mindless beast. He responded to commands, recognized languages, and once opened a locked door using nothing but a claw, a wire, and what Alara swore was sheer attitude. Scientists were baffled. Varka were genetically hardwired to bond only with their own kind. Yet Scrap treated Alara as his den mother, sleeping beside her bunk, growling at anyone who raised their voice near her. Word spread fast. Across the Empire, whispers followed Alara's name. The human who tamed the monster, the mother of death incarnate. Some called her a liar, others called her a sorcerer. A few called her dangerous, but they all watched. The trial of Voss. It wasn't long before the Empire summoned Alara to its central court, accusing her of illegal genetic manipulation and unauthorized possession of a weaponized species. The Grand Inquisitor, a cold-blooded Thalkir, hissed across the chamber, "Explain how you made it obey." Alara, dressed in patched leather and an old Earth Navy jacket, simply said, "I fed him. I talked to him. I didn't shoot him when he cried." Laughter erupted until Scrap, now nearly 8 feet tall, let out a low growl from behind her. Every official in the room flinched. The Inquisitor's 4 eyes widened. "You raised a predator," he sneered. "I raised a child," Alara corrected. Then she leaned closer. "Tell me, if someone had found you, cold, starving, crying in the dark, would you prefer they left you?" Silence. Whispers in the shadows. The case was dismissed, but the message was clear. Alara had done the impossible. She had rewritten nature through nothing but compassion. Other species began to question long-held beliefs. Could the Empire's monsters be more than tools of war? Could instincts be overwritten by kindness? On remote outposts, officers whispered the tale to fresh recruits: "Don't mess with humans. They don't tame monsters, they befriend them." On Deathworld forums, the story became legend. And on Varka homeworlds, a strange thing happened. Some cubs began resisting training, as if the memory of Scrap had traveled through the stars. A new kind of war years passed. When the Empire collapsed into civil war, Alara and Scrap vanished from public record. Some say she joined the resistance cell. Others believe she returned to the jungle moon to raise more orphans, both human and otherwise. But in the Empire's darkest hours, when warlords rose and entire planets fell, stories emerged of a ship with scorched red paint, flanked by a beast with silver claws and burning eyes. Where they went, Empires trembled, not because of the violence they brought, but because of the unity they inspired. Predator and prey, alien and human, mother and monster. Epilogue: the statue in the capital city of the reformed galactic Concord. There stands a statue. It shows a woman in a tattered jacket, resting one hand on the head of a massive armored beast. Children gather at its base to hear the legend of Captain Lara Voss and her son Scrap, who taught the stars that monsters aren't born. They're made. And sometimes are made by love.